Step into the ring, it's a wild ride. Jamie and Lauren with their ropes untied. Chairs are flying, rules denied. Professional, unprofessionals with chaos so unintentional. Smackdown stories off the wall. Professional, unprofessionals. No holds barred, no referee. Two voices, body slamming your feet. It's not a show, it's a pedigree. Professional, unprofessional. Professional, unprofessionals with chaos so unintentional. Smackdown stories off the wall. Professional, unprofessionals.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Professional Unprofessional podcast. I'm Jamie. I'm joined, as always, by Lauren. And today, I'm going to let Lauren once again do the introduction because, you know, ring announcer and all that shit. She knows what she's doing. I don't. So, Lauren, take it away. Who have we got today?
Well, it's a man that doesn't often get introduced to the ring. He just makes his presence felt. He is the head honcho of the regime, the boss man over at True Grit Wrestling. We have the absolutely wonderful JC with us today.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. Yeah, thank you for having me on.
It's fine. He's promised us, Lauren, that he's going to be nice to us today. So,
Okay, well, he's not got his little cronies with him, so he might have to be.
You don't know that. I could have my cronies there. Yeah, they've always got.
he's got Joey hiding behind that door.
No,
Where Joey lives.
he's got his feet on Joey. Come on, it's Joey Footstool.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, careful what you say about Joey. He's a good man. He helped me in a time of need.
He's a good little boy. He's a good little boy. Right. Anyway, enough about the regime. We're done with that. I still can't believe I was doing that at True Grit the other day and didn't realise.
Is that because you're secretly a regime fan? Most people are if they look deep inside themselves.
You know, I must be because I was genuinely stood there like that, and then you all did it, and I was like, "Oh shit, no!"
That's why it's a perfect taunt.
You ruined it for me. Oh no, never mind. Anyway, Lauren, you said before we started this that you had like a burning question for JC, so I'm going to let you start with it.
So,
Let's go in with the heavy stuff.
Jamie doesn't usually let me talk about wrestling on this because she likes to talk utter bollocks. However, one of my favourite things about True Grit is the storylines, the way that True Grit is put together, drags people in. Something that I think you don't see in many places. There's a lot of British independents. Currently, there's too much focus on the spots rather than the stories. And True Grit doesn't, it has the spots, don't get me wrong, but there does seem to be a very big story base. But my biggest thing with True Grit is the Pride Championship. I absolutely love it. Not only because you've got probably my favourite person as champion currently, but where did that come from? Was the Pride Championship something you were always intent on bringing to True Grit when you started, or did that evolve? See, I'm not familiar with the history of True Grit, so I don't know how quickly it came in.
It did, no, very much evolved. So back when we started at True Grit, sort of two of the biggest characters that we had was Priscilla and Commander Stephanie Sterling. Sterling especially was, with her sort of fame outside of wrestling, brought a lot of the initial fans in. And Priscilla was popular as well. And then Kid Bandit came over and we had Sterling and Bandit. Yeah. And it was really popular. And I was like, we seem to have a good fan base here. And it seems to be, well, it's very important to people as well. So I think we could probably do something with this. And I spoke with my sister and her partner, and they said, like, I think that's a really good idea. And they sort of helped me come up with the idea for the first Pride show. And I was like, okay, yeah, we'll do this. And we'll make it a standalone Pride show, and we'll introduce the championship and, get in wrestlers, LGBTQ plus wrestlers in, and we had the first True Grit game. Oh, sorry, it was actually the second True Grit games at Left Bang, but the one last year was actually for the Pride Championship. So the match you saw on Saturday, that was for the Pride Championship last year, and Priscilla won it. It was like a sort of one night tournament. We had 6 qualifiers, and then the main event was a no DQ elimination match.
Okay.
And again, it was just both years, the Pride show has been, apart from the Rumble, which is very popular, it's been our second highest attended show. Nearly 300 both years. People just love it. It's really good. Very eye-opening for me as well. Because the first time we did it last year, you may not have been aware of this. We actually got a lot of like hate comments and hate directed at True Grit, and that was because I'd not experienced that before. So it was, and a lot of it was directed at True Grit, and then it was directed at me as well, because I like did a response to all these people with like my face just like taking the piss, like nodding. I can see your comments and like to music. And then they'd all be saying these comments to me, and I was like, "This is mad! Like, I don't know these people, and they just hate me, like, because they obviously, they think I'm associated with this Pride show, and so that was very eye-opening with me. But it made all our existing fans and a load of new fans really get our back, and they defended us, and as a result, loads of people bought tickets for it. So I think that's the hate sort of inadvertently they created like this great audience and show for us. So fuck you, haters.
That was my first intro to True Grit. I remember that.
You saw it, because the algorithm, like everybody was seeing it because it was so many people were commenting.
I think I commented on it back at some of these absolute
well, thank you, because loads of people did, and it was really good to see the support of the wrestling community. And what was great as well, and because I wasn't sure how it was going to be perceived, like with our existing audience and the families and stuff. And the great thing is they've all loved it as well. And the families, like, as much as they love the regular roster, they love the Pride shows as well. We've got the Inserico section. Won't talk too much about Inserico, but their kids like love all the characters, but they love Priscilla, and they don't view Priscilla as like, I guess, a Pride drag queen. They just view Priscilla as another character on the True Grit show, and that's just lovely to see that they're not sort of viewing this divide between like the Pride wrestlers and the I guess the non-Pride wrestlers. So it's nice that the younger generation are not seeing that divide. They're just enjoying the characters and the wrestlers.
Yeah. I think that was probably my biggest takeaway. Obviously, the Pride show this year was my first True Grit show. And like, obviously I've been at the previous 2 Effie's Big Gay Brunches at TNT, which obviously are huge Pride shows, and they're flamboyant Pride shows. They embrace everything queer. They embrace sort of the over exaggeration of Pride, whereas I found the True Grit Pride show almost embodied what I know Adam Bolt's philosophy is for the Pride Championship at the minute, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Pride. It was almost fully LGBTQ plus wrestlers, but there was no flamboyance. Hey, I'm gay. It didn't scream that. It screamed, this is a fantastic wrestling show that could have had Pride stamped on it or not. But it was great that those wrestlers get that exposure as just wrestlers. I absolutely love the Pride shows, don't get me wrong. I'm so looking forward to Big Gay Brunch next weekend. But it's nice to see. It's the same with the women. I absolutely love having the women's shows, but they should be able to be embraced as wrestlers, and I think that's what True Grit does with their Pride shows quite well. And like I say, I know after talking to Adam, he's very keen on the Pride belt being represented properly, but not being a gimmicky belt, being something that can be defended just as it stands on its own as a wrestling belt.
Well, that's actually, quite a key philosophy at True Grit that developed on the second show, which was actually everything centers around the True Grit Games matches. Because the first one we did was for the women's championship, and that was the first time we put the women in the main event. And I didn't really think anything of it, but a lot of people thought that was a real bold move, like putting the women in the main event. And I just thought, well, they're getting the belt, like they should be the main event. But it seemed to be really well received. And oh, that's great, you're doing that for women wrestling. And then so I tried to develop philosophy at True Grit where all belts are equal. And so any belt can be the main event. And you've seen that the men's, the women's, the pride and the tag belt all, you've not seen a tag main event yet, but you will in November, which is incredible. The multi-man ladder match. Everyone gets to be showcased on the Left Bank shows at some point. It's not all just, we don't have like the True Grit World Championship and then everything else is secondary to that. Like all belts are equal. And that really came from that second show. And I sort of had a bit of a shift. I was like, okay, this is better. Like it's more interesting for a start if you centering out, not just having one central bit, having lots of different things. And then when I did the Pride show, I was like, we can do that with that as well. And then Adam has been incredible, and it's very important to him that it's not just perceived. He's not just got a championship because he's gay. It's because he's a really good wrestler, and and he wanted to go into that match with Tony Wright and be like, I want this to be up to the standard of other True Grit main events, and you saw it. Like it's one of the best matches we ever had. Like
best,
incredible,
best ever had.
Yeah, it was. I came home raving about it that much. The second it went up on Triller, my other half was like, I have to watch. I mean, he's a massive Tony Wright fan anyway, but he was like, we've got to watch it. You're going to have to come to the next show. Yeah, he's got goosebumps just talking about it.
It was incredible.
It gave me goosebumps. And I know that Adam and Tony were like, it's silly now looking back because it was so good, but they were really nervous going in. Like, I hope we don't let you down. It's like, obviously, they're not going to. They're both incredible, but it was great. And just across the board, like the fact that the wrestlers put that so much effort into True Grit shows is just, I really appreciate that. Generally, it's good. We have a good roster there.
Again, I think going back to my initial point before I asked about the Pride shows, I think you managed to achieve the equality so well because of the storylines that you have. You have that many storylines interwoven and everybody has a part. You've not got one storyline and everybody's a bit part around it and there's a little tag argument going on over here. There's something going on with every division. And I honestly, it's a credit to you and whoever your writing team are that put the shows together of how well you make it gel.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I guess I'm quite old school. Like I'm like 90s wrestling, so that's sort of just how I view wrestling. So to me, that's what wrestling is. I realize like it's probably quite dated how I write wrestling shows, but because it's different to everything else, it probably seems quite new to some people, but really I'm just doing wrestling how I've always thought it should be done. Like that's kind of how I approached it when I was a wrestler myself, but now I just do it for everyone, and I write the shows, and the wrestlers themselves are really good as well, and like I'll chat with them and we'll have an input and just try and come out with the best sort of storylines possible.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to how many True Grit shows? 3 now. Yeah, and I get excited now every time it's coming up to a True Grit show because I'm like, right, I know there's like amazing storylines that I'm going to enjoy. I know I actually have to do something when I'm there, when people inevitably get hurt, but the fact that I can stand there and watch it and enjoy it, and I still do get the panic. It's like you said to me, you were like, it's not like you're running in every 2 minutes thinking somebody's hurt, because obviously I know what I'm looking for, but I still flinch, I still panic, everything. Because they do it so damn well. They're putting so much heart and soul into it, and you can see they're doing it because they care about the company. It's not just another payday for them, which again is a credit to you, because you've got to love working for somebody to be able to put that much passion into it. So well done to you for actually having that company for everybody to want to do that too.
Well, yeah, no, I do appreciate that everyone feels that. Well, most people feel that way. I'm sure there's people that have worked for me, and it is just another booking. In fact, I know there is, but they usually like, and it's nothing against them, because like some wrestlers, I know they've got goals to do what they want, to get as many bookings as possible and want to get signed, etc. So that's fine, but you can't fake it at True Grit. You're kind of like all in True Grit, or you're not. And if you're not, I think it's quite obvious, because you just won't gel. You just won't gel as good with the audience, with me, with the rest of the wrestlers. So it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work as well. And I think over time we've developed a really good roster that really care about True Grit. And that's good. It's sometimes tricky because there's so many people on the roster, and there's a lot of people that care about True Grit. It's quite difficult to, make the shows sort of not overrun and not be overbooked and that sort of stuff, which is honestly one of the hardest things as a promoter. I know British promoters have been failing at that aspect for years, having shows like running 7 hours past midnight and all sorts of stuff. But and I've certainly been guilty of overbooking shows as well, because it is tricky, especially when you've got so many people putting their heart and soul in. But it's definitely, I appreciate that.
Now, how are you feeling about the whole, Wing Commander and Jericho situation?
Well, they've been doing their own shows as well, Nashboat. I don't know if you've seen that.
We saw it. We weren't able to go. It was Salford on the same day. So obviously, well, I didn't end up going to either show, but Lauren, you ended up working Salford, didn't you? So we weren't able to go, but we did see that the regime made their presence felt at the show.
Yeah, it's it's been interesting, and I guess this is very much behind the scenes, but you feel so caught up in the moment. Like, it feels real when you're doing it as well, and the reactions we got last week on the show were incredible, even though it's at my expense. It kind of felt like it's weird. It doesn't feel like acting in the moment. And likewise on the Nashboat show, it didn't either. Like, certainly when I'm out there as owner James Carr, like, I fully kind of believe everything I'm saying, if I'm honest.
It was weird though, like coming in, because when we came in on the first day, it was, you were just in your normal get up, so lovely, and then you turned into, James Carr, the owner, and I shit myself. You were genuinely a horrible, horrible person. I was like, holy fuck, like, uh-oh.
It's funny because I sometimes don't know, like, because when I'm watching all the other wrestlers and I'm always listening to the reactions, and I'm like, oh, okay, they've done good there, and I can and because you're out of it and you're not sort of you're not under the microscope, it's very easy to judge. But when you're out, like, and I did it when I was a wrestler as well. Like, you're always listening to the audience, like, okay, that bit sounded good. Okay, they didn't really react to that, and oh, maybe that wasn't so good. And I was saying it to my sister afterwards, and I was like, I'm not sure, like, is it working? Like, do you think they don't like me? And she was like, James, they fucking hate you. And I was like, that's good.
The fact that there was a child running around the venue at the last show handing out stickers of your face with a giant cross through it to every single person he could persuade to put one on. I think you've done your job.
I didn't set that up, by the way. That was actually a shoot. I didn't know they're handing out those stickers. They were bloody everywhere. And also, this was the first show that my workmates, so my day job, like my office, like 10 people came from the office, and I was in the work. The first time I knew about the stickers was in my work WhatsApp group. They're like, oh, they're handing out anti-JC stickers, like, for James. And they brought a load. They're sticking up in the office now. So now in wrestling, I get it. And now even in the office, because I'm their manager. So
that's amazing. Just like, now fuck you at work too.
That's Merchman Stew that arranged for that. I had no clue that was going to happen.
I just said to Merchman Stew, I was like, am I still going to get paid if I'm wearing this sticker? He's not going to tell me to fuck off, is it?
Just for context for anyone watching, because I have no idea when this show will be going out, we are talking about True Grit Games show, which will be up on Triller for you to go. It is Triller, isn't it?
It's Triller TV, yeah.
Normally Fight on Triller TV. Go back and watch it because the ending is superb. Genuinely the most emotion I have felt at a wrestling show for a very long time. And the show JC mentioned earlier with the Pride show is also on there. The ladder match with Tony and Adam is absolutely exquisite. So yeah, if you want to catch up on anything True Grit, Triller TV is where you want to go. But yeah, just because I have no idea when we're actually going to post this, and we could be 3 more True Grit shows deep and we're going last week.
Yeah. To be fair, that normally happens and we're just like, hang on a minute, what were we on about again?
True Grit Games was where we were at.
Everyone might love me by the time this comes out.
Go to the next one. Just go to the next True Grit show.
Go to the True Grit show. Yeah, fuck it.
We do one a month. Yeah, so look on the True Grit website. We've got a show coming up.
Where's the next one? Is the next one in York or is it in Leeds again?
We do them bi-monthly, so it alternates between the two. 11th of October is the next one.
Let me check my diary. I'm sure I've already written it in, but let me check because you know what I'm like. My brain doesn't work. Oh yeah, there we go.
I'm free.
It's in. It's in my diary, and I'm good. Lauren, therefore, it's in your diary because it's in my.
Well, I've done my wrestling question now, so I think it's time for some of your bullshit, Jamie.
Oh yay, bullshit. Okay, right. Okay, bullshit. First off, I've not asked this yet on this podcast. Do you like chicken nuggets?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Nuggets. Yeah, who doesn't like chicken nuggets unless like you're veg or vegan?
Oh no, I've done that. I've asked.
You don't like chicken nuggets?
I've asked 2 vegans if they like chicken nuggets. I failed epically at.
Do they have vegan chicken nuggets? What do they think of them?
Alfie and Katie were the 2.
Yeah, that was it.
Both of them liked the vegan nuggets. Yes.
Yeah.
Have you met a meat eater who doesn't like chicken nuggets? Because I think they're lying if they said that.
I genuinely don't think I have.
Yeah.
Like, there's no. To be fair, my guilty pleasure, like nuggets from McDonald's are fine and everything, but a fish finger Happy Meal from McDonald's, guilty pleasure meal.
They do a fish finger Happy Meal?
Yeah.
Or is it like a fillet of fish one?
No, it's actual fish fingers. Actual fish fingers.
Oh, right.
You get 3.
I've never got fish from McDonald's actually, so I don't know.
Genuine. It used to be a pregnancy craving, I'll be honest. And me and my husband used to go to McDonald's, get whatever we were getting, and then split the fish finger Happy Meal on the drive home. And then it's just turned into every now and again we'll do that, and we're like, what the fuck are we doing with our lives? We're in our 30s eating a fucking fish finger Happy Meal.
Actually, McDonald's, I didn't do it this week. McDonald's is the only time I go to McDonald's is after a show. So I suppose I go once a month by that proxy. But it's like, because there was nothing else open. And yeah, so that's the day that I give myself an excuse to get McDonald's. And I never get chicken nuggets. I sometimes get the chicken selects. They're like posh nuggets, aren't they?
Well, the longer nuggets, aren't they? Yeah. But next time you're going to think of this and you're going to get nuggets. I can see it happening.
Mine and Jamie's routine on the way back from True Grit, isn't it? Usually we'll grab a Mackey's on for the drive home.
Yeah. Apart from last time, why did we not do it last time? Because
the boys were at home waiting for us.
That was it, yeah. We left them both at my house, didn't we?
We left the other halves having a geek day looking through old vinyls and figures and all sorts of collectibles.
Yeah, we thought we might get back and they'd be asleep hugging on the couch or something, so we thought we better get back, just in case.
Are you a collector type of person, or are you too practical for that?
A collector type? Do you mean, do I collect anything?
Yeah.
Not really. Like, I have a few Funko Pops, but they were given to me. I don't think I guess I buy like computer games. I wouldn't say I collect them. I guess maybe I'm too practical to actually collect stuff. I did when I was younger.
You do sound too practical. You're just there like thinking about it, and I'm just thinking, God, my house is full of just all the collectibles.
If you ask Jamie about collectibles, she'll pull out wrestling belts, she'll pull out movie figures, she'll pull out toys.
Oh, hang on. Speaking of wrestling belts, hang on.
Here we go. See, I told you.
We asked another promoter, didn't we, about do you like films? And
these are going on the walls eventually.
so much things in 2 hours while I'm going to watch film.
Yeah.
I do. I enjoy watching films. In fact, I started. I actually go to the cinema every Sunday night now. So when my sister and her partner moved up, like I got her partner Lindsay a membership to Cineworld because like she was new to Leeds. It was her birthday, and I knew she loved like cinema and films and stuff. So the three of us just started doing that, and then we just kept it up. And honestly, it's so good. Like, 'cause I love film and cinema, and I hadn't been to the cinema for years. And now I go every week. It's awesome. I saw The Long Walk this week, which I'd recommend. It's a Stephen King film.
Yeah.
Really good. It's probably I'd say it's the best film we've seen at the cinema this year, definitely.
But are you going to see the Bluey movie?
We have seen a few kids ones because if you go every week, you kind of run out of films to watch.
Go see the Bluey movie, right? I have kids, therefore
the Bluey movie is a kid one, not Blue movie. The Bluey movie, they're very different.
But no, genuinely,
I definitely wouldn't go to a Blue movie with my sister and a partner. That would be weird.
Probably not a good idea.
It would be weird, but no, genuinely, I'm looking forward to going to the cinema to watch the Bluey movie. I don't think my kids are arsed.
I think honestly, I think some people at the True Grit shows, like the parents enjoy it more than the kids.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
although it's been good for a lot of the kids as well. I think it sort of brings them out of their shell a little bit, which is nice.
There's a family that I always notice. One of them always there's brought sort of sweets and stuff before, and the kids are always running around. They absolutely love it. And it's nice to see an environment where the kids are just safe and happy, and they can watch a bit of wrestling, and then they can sort of it's why me and Dan absolutely love being there with the hot tag stuff, because seeing some of the kids come up, some of them have never been to wrestling before. We had some last time we were in Leeds. There was two girls who were massive Bron Breakker and Cody Rhodes fans.
Right.
They had never been to an indie show. They had no idea who any of the wrestlers on the show were. So at the start of the show, we were sort of trying to come up with signs that they could make. One of them ended up doing a yay boo alternate signs, and the other one had just done a yay for wrestling or something like that. And then they
like by the end of it.
They came back to us at the half time and we're like, can we make, I can't even remember who it was, but they were so excited to come back to make a sign for a certain wrestler because they've fallen in love with them. And I'm like, this is what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always interested to see how the wrestlers get over with kids the first time and who people are interested in. Actually, it's interesting that two that really got compliment from, so we did a WrestleFest recently, like a daytime show. It was like a wrestling festival, and the venue guy there and his kids have started coming to every show. They love it.
Okay.
But the two that they love is Brady and Riley, and he said to me, and obviously both of them love this, but he said to me oh, you had those two proper professionals on as well, didn't you? And I was like, God, those two watching this will love it. Any other wrestlers gonna be like, motherfucker. But
please tell me you haven't told those two that.
I think I did tell Riley. I don't know if I've told Brady yet, but
let's just inflate the egos of those two.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I had a kid at the last show tell me that Adam Bolt looks like Logan Paul. And when I said he's not as good as Logan Paul, though, is he? He was like, no, he's better.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but you stupidly told Adam Bolt that.
Well, yeah,
that man doesn't need an ego trip either.
I think the biggest wrestler that has sort of become loved by everyone at the minute is Tony.
Tony Wright, yeah.
Across all promotions everywhere.
The one that surprised me from True Grit, and I feel like I have to explain my surprise a little bit because she is an absolutely phenomenal wrestler, but she doesn't stand out amongst the women as the one that the girls would go for to me. But Rio is absolutely idolized by so many of the girls. And it's so nice to see that we know WWE have the history of the divas and having the pretty girls. And I love the fact that Rio, who's the baddest fucking bitch ever, she goes out there, she doesn't give a shit, she's not got a face full of makeup, she goes out and she's entirely hurt. She's the one that they're looking up to, and I love that that's what these kids are getting.
Yeah, and that was completely organic as well, which a lot of the character True Grit have been. Like I was like initially when I was writing, I used to be quite rigid, and I was like, okay, this person's going to do this, and then I learned sort of like you got to be a lot more fluid. Like if the audience go one way, you've got to go with it.
Yeah.
And the first like Left Bank show that we did, I'd sort of built up in. We used to do. And this is an exclusive. I may be bringing it back next year. We used to do this thing called True Grit TV. So we'd do like 6 half-hour episodes in the weeks leading up to the Left Bank show. And then we'd do like the big show. So the idea, because I never intended on running this many shows, it was meant to be like contained in seasons. So you'd have like 6 episodes and then a season finale, and then there'd be a gap and you do it for season 2 and it would carry on like that. And then I got a bit too into it and now I'm doing monthly wrestling shows.
No, you just
but
like, what have I done?
Yeah. And but what I'm to get back to Rio, she was built up as a heel, and her thing was with Charlie Morgan, and they were going to have a no DQ match on the first show, and they did. And Charlie was still getting cheered, but then as the match went on, people just started to cheer for Rio, and they just loved her. And she was over in that match, and she came back, and I was just like, okay, you're a babyface now. They love you. And then I don't think we even like turned her or anything. She just, we then the second show was the True Grit Games, and we did the season building up to it, and everyone like won their match. And the last 2 was Ivy and Rio. And then that was the introduction of Brady. They screwed over Rio. She took the belt. And then those 2 had like a year-long feud. And that's when Rio finally got the belt off Ivy. And that's led to like her being like super popular at True Grit.
Yeah.
And then elsewhere as well, like obviously Rio's doing really well at ICW and Progress and everywhere. She's sort of just become like one of the most popular baby faces in the country.
I saw her, she was my favourite.
Yeah, she's finally getting the flowers she deserves.
Yeah, because she's babyface everywhere else as well, I think, isn't she? Apart
Pretty
from maybe
much,
like Eve and stuff. I don't know. Maybe she's babyface at Eve as well. No, I think she's heel. She's in a tag team, but yeah, certainly at the like Progress and ICW and the bigger ones, she seems to be. Well, Eve's a big one as well. So she seems to be babyface.
I think even when she's not, she's the type that everyone loves to hate.
Yeah, she doesn't change her character whichever way she goes.
Yeah, no, she doesn't need to, does she? It's just like, this is what I am, tough shit, you're dealing with it.
Yeah,
it's just like a badass. Like was it when she came back, that was said like, you're going to be my Stone Cold. She did, and that's like, she kind of was the true Stone Cold. Like she's the closest to the Stone Cold we got anyway.
If she comes out now with beers, I swear to God, I'm gonna.
She doesn't come out drinking beers. Yeah, that's true. Doesn't do the stunner.
That's the evolution of Rio.
Yeah, just like just a badass. That was who everyone was cheering for. That was like the original, Rio character.
Love it.
I thought you were going to say something then, Jamie. Sorry.
Oh, you expect? Sorry, I was waiting for the next question. The next non-wrestling question.
You think we have things organised? God, like we have a plan. What we'll do though is, because we are having quite a good conversation, shall we let everyone have a break for 5? Put a little like sponsored ad in the middle, like Lauren likes to do. Pretend that we're actually impressive, and then obviously we'll come back and we'll carry on having a nice. Non-wrestling like related conversation, but it's always going back to wrestling. So
we've talked a lot about wrestling, in fairness.
Yeah. Shall we do that? Shall we have a quick breathe, and I'll pretend that I can think of some questions that aren't wrestling related.
See you in a minute.
See you in a sec.
That was a little video from our sponsors over at Hot Tag. As we said before, me and Dan absolutely love representing Hot Tag over at True Grit. It's one of our favourite shows to come to. But let's get back to talking to JC. So you mentioned earlier you enjoy films.
Yeah.
What film genre do you go to? What's your favourite?
So I guess I don't know how you'd categorize them. Like,
It's a difficult question, isn't it? Because for me, it's different moods films. Bring me different genres.
Like I love the two directors I just said there, Tarantino and Martin Scorsese. I can never say his name, but I do like him. People always laugh at me. They're like, "You're not a fan. You don't even say his name." But I love sort of Goodfellas, Casino, and then all like the Tarantino ones, and then like Stanley Kubrick ones as well. So I guess I view they're almost like sort of quite violent drama films, aren't they? That's probably how you categorize them.
There's a
film version of wrestling, then, basically.
Yeah. But they all have like quite deep
that I'm after called behind them, which is a gangster film, and I can't find it. I've told you about it.
Yeah,
it's a gangster film called Bound, and it's amazing, and I cannot find it anywhere. It's not streaming. You can't buy it.
Yeah, Bound.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
Never.
It's so good.
I've never heard of it. He's been looking
for
it.
The 1996 one or the 2015 one?
1996.
Right. Okay.
Jennifer Tilly.
Oh, that's why he likes it, Jennifer Tilly.
Trust me, it's very good.
So I think.
So like wrestling. I like my films with a good story. I tend to get. I'm not really keen on like rom-coms or like typical action films. I quite like some action films if they're good, but I find that so many of them follow the same format, and you kind of know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I get a bit bored in those sorts of films. And then it's not all dark, violent ones. Forrest Gump, for example, I think is one of the best films of all time. Yeah, which I think because it's so like almost like it's been sort of parodied so much, and people don't give it the kudos it should. It is actually a genuinely good film as well. Lost in Translation is another one I really like. I don't know what you classify that film. I don't know if you've ever seen that with it's Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson. Like they're in Japan. It's kind of like they're both like he's sort of on the having a bad time in he's an actor in the film, and he's sort of on the downward trajectory of his career. Scarlett Johansson's character is like being cheated on by a boyfriend, and they're both stuck in this Japanese hotel, and they can't speak to anyone because they're Japanese, so they sort of have a bit of a romance together but don't actually get together. So it's quite it's there's a lot of tension there, which is the way it's good. It's a good film. I would recommend it.
I think when I go to films, I'm really, really bad at films. I do not have the attention span, which I'm like the complete opposite to my other half. He will happily sit there and watch like 8 films in a row. Whereas unless I've got something to be fidgeting with, I can't do it. But I like the old classics. It's Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, silly, goofy stuff like that. I think that or like the opposite end. I love things like John Wick, or going down the proper horror stuff for me. But
The Crow.
Oh, that's that. I don't know if you follow Nick Towers' film thing that he does. He does it's really good actually. He does like a knockout competition with films. And he just did one for it was superhero film. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it was superhero. No, it was superhero films, and I think Crow won. Or was it? Oh, no, it must have been horror films. Sorry. Yeah, it must have been. But he did what Crow won the 90s films and the horror. That's what it was.
Oh,
it is a fantastic film.
Yeah, it's the only film that's won 2 of his things.
You're all talking about all these films. I'm a mum of 2 small children. I've got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. My films consist of Disney. Like, I don't get to watch
seen the Crow.
Disney film. Well, Disney films. What's your favorite ever Disney film? There's an exclusive I'll give you. What was the answer there?
Oh, Harley just shouted that what was it? The Crow's a goddamn masterpiece and the soundtrack's incredible.
Yep.
Every now and again, he just pops in with a random fucking comment.
9 Inch Nails, The Cure, Pantera, Men.
I don't know if you heard any of that because he went into the kitchen and then started talking pops again.
Pantera, yep, I heard.
Yeah, but yeah, I literally get, Toy Story, mainly the second one. What else do I have to watch through? Oh, currently K-pop Demon Hunter.
Second Toy Story is your favourite. Interesting.
No, it's my son's favourite.
Oh, right.
What's your favourite, though, Jamie?
My favourite film of all time is The Green Mile.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
your favourite Disney film?
My favourite Disney film. Oh. It technically counts now because Disney owns fucking everything.
The 1979 Alien.
No, Harley. No. Not in the fucking
The Alien
slightest.
Queen is a Disney princess now.
Fucking hell. No, I was going to say the Simpsons movie because Disney own everything, don't they?
Oh, I don't know if you can call that a Disney film.
Queen.
That's a cop-out.
For me, it's easy. It's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, I do love Nightmare Before... Hang on. Nightmare Before Christmas.
I know it's probably a cop-out for a Disney film, but
yeah, my mind's going to the traditional cartoon one.
Shit.
No, to be fair, like traditional ones, I'd
Shit.
probably say like Bambi. I do love Bambi.
Yeah. I think probably Lion King or Aladdin. Very obvious ones.
No. Is it a Disney? I don't think it's a Disney film, actually, now I was going to say this. Bedknobs and Broomsticks?
Yeah, I think it's a Disney
Is
film.
that Disney?
Yeah.
They're very underrated Disney
That
film.
is fucking incredible. I'm going to watch that later now.
That's the one where they have the football match with the cartoon characters. I love that as a kid. That scene,
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, like when I was really young, like I didn't care for a lot of the film, but that football match I loved. I think it's just because I love cartoons and I thought it was crazy.
Honestly, growing up, I thought people thought I was having an acid trip because every time I spoke about that film, nobody knew what the fuck I was on about. I was adamant I was having a fever dream or something, and then I found it and I was like, I knew it existed. I knew I wasn't insane. But yeah,
I don't really care for
criminally
Disney
underrated
films,
film.
but I'm going to pass you the reason why I love this one.
Hercules.
Oh, okay, Hercules good. All mine are quite old. I'm sure my age. Because my other one I was going to say is Pinocchio, which is like really old, but it's nostalgia for me.
Not as old as me.
Can't play it, huh?
Yeah, how old are you, JC?
42.
Not as old as me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still older, so you're all right.
All right, okay. I won't play the age card then.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I'm usually the oldest in most wrestling venues. That's really sad, isn't it?
We were at an Off the Page show once, and it was just before doors opened, and he genuinely looked around the room and was like, nope, at the age of 45, I am older than every single person in here and could have fathered some of them.
Yeah. Isn't it? It's nuts wrestling how it brings like all these people together from like such different walks of life, age especially.
Yeah.
Like mates with a 20-year-old.
Well, like I first got behind the scenes by doing James Greenwood's referee training.
Right.
And there was a group of about 6 of us that became really good friends, and we always used to go out for breakfast before like training and whatever. And I always used to proper laugh as we were walking through town because we looked like the weirdest fucking bunch of like misfits. Yeah. There was like a 20-year-old who's like 6 foot with a Sonic the Hedgehog haircut. There was a proper a teacher who looks like a teacher. You had a 40-year-old dude who, in his own description, is a chunky boy. Me. And I'm just like, we just look like we don't belong together whatsoever.
Yeah. Like, why are you all going really good together? Yeah.
To be fair, that's what it looks like when all 4 of us get together, Lauren. When it's me, you, Harley, and Gav, we do look like the weirdest bunch of people.
No, we're just...
No, me and Harley can easily put us all there, mates.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
2 rocker dudes with 2 misses with boobs and bums.
Yeah, I think you get odder matches definitely in wrestling.
Definitely get odder matchups.
Yeah, true. Very true.
People don't even realise the age gap with me and Gav because they think I'm 5 years older than I am and he's 5 years younger than he is.
Yeah.
I'm a big child.
Yeah. You've got an
Understatement.
year-old.
Yeah, it used to be when I started out in wrestling, like just going and just sort of meeting all these different people from all over. And like I'd be sort of going to uni in the week and then I'd like go up to Sheffield and hang out with like all these different wrestlers and and stay with them. And like it was very much like, dual life at the time. It always has been, really.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of wrestlers have that. They sort of have their wrestling life and their real life.
Yeah, it's one of the things that always amazes me when you meet people. You can have known people for months, years, and then you'll find out their age and you're just like, no, either they're way older or way younger than you think they're going to be. Some of the kids coming through.
Prime example, Pud.
Oh, Padraig Quinlan.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know.
Have you met him or just know of him?
I don't think I met him.
Right. The Quintessential Boys are, I think, 22 and 18 now.
Right.
And
okay, so quite young. I wonder if I've seen them at Tidal. I don't know. They've wrestled there, haven't they? But
yes, they've definitely wrestled there. But you meet Pud, and I always put Pud as like early 20s.
Yeah.
He's extremely good in the ring, very, very talented or whatever. And then someone came out and was like, yeah, he's only 17 at the time. And I'm like, what? And we were having, there's quite a new tag team called the O5 coming out of Future Shock. And we were discussing them at a show, like, oh, why are they called the O5? And someone was like, oh, because they were born in 2005. And we were all like disgusted and felt sick at how old we all felt. And then this little voice from behind us all just went, yeah, but they're not as young as Padraig. And we're like, they're all children.
Yeah.
But they're so talented.
Literal children. Like, I know I'm considered a wrestling mum because obviously I feed the wrestlers and, you know, do the first aid. I know I'm the wrestling mum, but the fact that I am physically old enough to have mothered some of them, I'm like, no. Just no.
Do you get that being a promoter of sort of, do you get protective over some of your talent, or do you try and keep a little bit of a professional distance?
I suppose like I don't really see them outside of True Grit, a lot of them. So do I get like the atmosphere is always so good at True Grit. I never really have to be protective over them, I suppose. So
do you ever see them doing stuff on, like, you'll see them working for certain places or anything like that and be like, be careful?
I'm trying to think if that's ever happened. I can't actually think of an example, to be honest. Like, because most of the True Grit wrestlers seem to like work at good places.
They've all got their heads screwed on, haven't they?
Yeah.
At the next show, can I start an argument with Joey then and see if you get protective?
Yeah. I know some of them work at Mega Slam sometimes, and I've got quite bad experience with the owner of Mega Slam. So I don't like people working there, but I wouldn't usually say don't work at a certain place. But I might say be careful, like going somewhere like just because of my own experiences.
Yeah.
And I have said that to Joey, actually. I'm trying to think if there's any others. Yeah, a lot of the other ones that work there are a bit older anyway, so yeah, they can make their own.
Because Joey's really young as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's only 19.
Yeah, he's a baby
he's 19 now. Yeah, he's one when he first started wrestling for me, the first match he had was against Sean Only's Open Challenge. And he came in and he did like an amazing promo for it. And it went really well. And I was like, oh, this guy's quite good. And then he sent me a picture of me and him. God, we have to use this in regime stuff at some point. He's a kid and I'm just I'm a Russian wrestler, and it's just like a meet and greet, me and him.
That's amazing.
Actually,
yeah, that definitely needs to get brought out.
I need to send that picture to me again, because he sent me that picture before he turned heel and joined our group. So yeah, that picture is definitely going to get into a video somewhere.
That needs to happen. That is amazing.
I think Joey is very much one of those people that if people don't know the name yet, they are going to learn it within the next 12 months, because he's very, very underrated for his talent level at the minute. He's sort of seen as the bit part of Hellbound, and he's always like the young up and comer that sort of gets trodden on a little bit. But for his age, he's a very, very talented lad. And the character he brings to the ring, he has me in absolute stitches.
Yeah, he gets it as well for being such a young age. Like, he completely like gets his role in the regime, and it's so good. Like, he didn't even have a match on Saturday, and he still did like one of the best things of the night, where he got kneed by Joe Wade. It was it's incredible.
He doesn't need to have a match, and he can just be there, and he makes an impact. The fact that he can do that at the age of 19 is just incredible. Like, not many people who've been in the business for years can do that.
Yeah, when Sash was the same, like a lot of shows, he was turning up and he wasn't in a match, but he was just still getting over. Like, sometimes he'd just be like doing stupid stuff with Nashboat before the show, and he was just really getting over. And he's really, I'm just putting over my little group now. But,
Let's keep
you said you weren't going to be in character.
Yeah.
No,
he's
not smiling.
That's why.
He doesn't smile when he's, big bad man, does he? The angry face.
Yes, everyone keeps telling me. They're like, "Oh, that's funny, that face you pull out." What face?
You do look like a bulldog chewing a wasp, though, to be fair.
Yeah. When I watch back, I'm like, okay, that face.
To be fair, it's one of the things me and Jamie do like to do on here, is putting over the newer up and coming talent that people, because obviously me and Jamie have the pleasure, and we are very lucky to get to as many shows as we do and see as many people as we do. And it is one of the things we do enjoy doing, is seeing the new guys coming through and being able to sort of, even on a small scale, help put their name out there a little bit. And like I say, Joey was one of the guys that stood out to me even before I came to True Grit. He's obviously, with both of us being around Deathmatch a lot, we know Alton very, very well. Hellbound has always been on the radar.
So I knew Alton had done like the stuff with Sash, and I was like, oh, that's quite interesting, the stuff they're doing at Future. I hadn't really seen much of his stuff, and I brought him in because Joey was like going through his old like Hellbound crew, and I thought, oh, it's a nice little story to do. And then Alton came in as like the finale, and instantly, like, I was like, okay, this guy is actually like really charismatic. Like, he has a real rapport about him when he goes out. He's instantly likable, and he's only wrestled for me twice, but he's great. Really like him.
Yeah, well, we literally just recorded a podcast with Alton before we've done one with you tonight, and we obviously spoke about True Grit and everything, and he said he absolutely loves it. The atmosphere is great. He said he loves the building, this, that, and the other. He's not a fan of the regime, though, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as I was saying, Hellbound have been on our radar for a while. So Joey's been around, but never massively spoken about. And I think it was a Wrestle Island show a few months ago.
That's when I first.
It was the first time I'd actually seen Joey wrestle, and I didn't expect a lot. I genuinely thought he was just the new kid in Hellbound that Alton was taking along for the ride. And he came out, and I was instantly captivated. Like, the character on him is so, so good.
The first promo he did for me, like, I was blown away by it, because I think we just needed like a new wrestler to face Sean Only, because every show he was going against like a new up and coming wrestler, and he was beating him until it was Billy O'Keefe, the guy that beat him. But Joey, and it was like, I didn't have anyone, so it may have come from Styx, and it's like, oh, we need a young guy, and it's like, you need to use this guy, Joey. It was called Joey Cement at the time, which I actually love that name. I kind of part of me wish you hadn't changed it.
That's good. I like it.
That is amazing.
It is good.
And you can change it back. You can do what you want with Joey.
Yeah, it's true. I could mention back to Joey Cement. He maybe for one show that can be one of his punishments, and he did this he cut this amazing promo on Sean Only how he was going to win the challenge and how much it means to him, and it was just from nothing, but it suddenly made the match win, and it was one of those moments where it was like everyone thought he was going to win, and it was like, oh shit, he's going to ruin this like whole open challenge thing that we've been building up for a year. So everyone wants him to win it now. But there we go. Now Sean Only has turned on us. We'll have to go back to it. Joey can get his revenge on Sean Only. I've been feuding with Sean Only for about 10 years, like at various promotions.
It's just one of those fight forever things. It's just never going to stop.
I mean, for the majority of it, I was Russian and he was just, well, dickhead Sean Only, but it seems to have carried on in True Grit.
I'm very intrigued where this Russian character came from.
Did you ever see it? Possibly not. You may have not have seen me when I was a wrestler, but it came from originally was like years ago when I started wrestling. So about 2002, the original Russian came. It wasn't called Boris Kozlov. It was called Radikonenko, which was just two Russian names mixed together from like FIFA or one of those football games from the Russian football team. And it was purely because our little group had left the training school and they'd set up their own promotion and I was wrestling for them. And the original guys had a French one, and I think they wanted like a foreign character. So they're like, "Oh, will you do a Russian character?" I was like, "Yeah, all right." And then I did that, and then I didn't do it for years. And then I came back to wrestling. And I started wrestling for All Star, and JC Thunder, that was the other wrestler I was like. I was like, "Oh, is this a bit bland for All Star? They like characters." So I said, "Oh, I'll do this Russian character as well," even though I hadn't done it for like 10 years. And Brian Dixon was, "Oh yeah, do that." And then he didn't like the name, so I had to come up with a name on the spot. So I thought of the most Russian name possible. I was like, "Oh, he's called Boris Kozlov," and, and then that's how it came. And then I started doing it on the Mega Slam shows, the camp shows, and one day it was like, so we try and do something different. Let's see if we can make Boris babyface. Like it's never been done before. Russian being a good guy, that'll be funny. And I was like, okay, I'll make it a comedy match, and it got over so well. Everyone was just cheering for Boris, and I was like, okay, like Boris is a babyface. This is mental. And then Rice started using me, and I was like, I do this Russian character. It's quite a good babyface for an adult crowd, it might be quite cool. I can come out and like drink the vodka and do all these like silly spots and things. And again, I just became like this huge baby face at Rise, and I was like, this is nuts. Like Russian characters, like huge baby face, and I only intended on doing Boris like every now and then, but it became like my thing for like a few years, and it was really popular. So that was the history of Boris in a nutshell. And the Boris bus. Did you ever hear about the Boris bus that I did?
No, but that sounds amazing.
So this was my little see, I'm always coming up with little ideas that sort of go different to what other wrestlers or promoters are doing. But this particular idea was like, I want something to offer promoters. So the one that took me up on it was North. And I said, I will get a load of fans from Leeds because I'm really popular on these Rise shows, and they'll come with me and they'll buy tickets to come on my bus, and we'll come up and do the show. So you get a free wrestler, and I'll give you half of the money, and we'll both profit from it. And we did. And to North, they're just like, "Hang on, you're going to pay me to wrestle on my shows? Amazing!" And we both made money from it. And fans had to stay in character all day, which was quite difficult. But a bus would come and pick up the fans, and we'd all go to North together. I would wrestle a match, and then we'd go back in the evening and just get drunk on the bus on the way back. And it was such good fun. A lot of the fans that were on that bus now come to True Grit shows, actually, which is funny. But it was it was tiring because I had to be like Boris all day. Have you ever seen Futurama with the Slurm guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the slur, and he's always on. And then when he takes off his sunglasses,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah. I felt like the Slurm guy. At the end of the day, I was just like, I'd suddenly have to slip out of being Russian, and I was like, I hate myself. I'm so tired.
Did you do a really shit Russian accent?
Yeah, all day. And it was fine. It was fun for everyone until we're in a service station. And I happened to be walking with one fan on their own, and I stayed in character. And I could see they're a bit like, we know you're not Russian. This is really awkward. But I still kept it up. I still kept the character up. I was like, you paid for this experience. You're going to get it whether you like it or not.
By the end of it, just questioning your own sanity, like, what am I even doing?
Yeah, questioning my own identity. But with Rise, we
go back to speaking normally after doing a whole day of a shit Russian accent.
Yeah, it was tricky. Rise, we used to do loads of like skits and stuff. And one we did like me training for a championship match, and I went swimming in the Leeds Canal as Boris. I'm just swimming with my little Russian hat on in the canal, running around Leeds Centre in my tights and Russian hat and my flag, like Boris, and like a Russian guy in Leeds Market threw me an apple because like he's so happy to see a Russian guy, and like as it was. I'll send you the video after this. It's so stupid.
Please do, because it will get included in there.
Yeah, well, okay. I'll send you it after this. It's so ridiculous, but it was a really funny video. But I used to love doing stuff. Strangely, the bit that I felt most awkward about was when we finished filming and I'm just walking through town. I'm like normal bloke, but I've still got my bright red tights on. So people are just looking at me like, why's your mate wearing like bright red tights? To Danny O'Doherty, who was walking with me. Like they wouldn't make eye contact with me because like I look so bizarre. So I was just wearing like normal hoodie on top, but I've just got these bright red pants that say Boris on my arse. Yeah, that was we did quite a few of those videos. We did the gimmick killer as well for when I was facing HT Drake. So it was meant to be like, I guess almost like a meta thing because I'm like the biggest gimmick going. But I was James Carr pretending to be Boris Kozlov, pretending to be HT Drake, the gimmick killer. And Boris would go around arresting other wrestlers who were gimmicks. So I'll send you this video as well. And my particular favorite was episode 3, where Boris meets a wrestler pretending to be a Russian wrestler, and then he just like ends up arresting himself. It's bizarre, but
I don't think I can do this anymore.
Yeah, I'm telling you this quite seriously. This is quite serious business for me.
Oh God!
This is James's career you are laughing at, Jamie.
This is my career. This is me pretending to be Russian, arresting someone pretending to be Papa Shango. That was one of the episodes. All in very public places. People looking at us like, what the fuck are they doing?
I think that is the thing with Rise. You've really got to have a thick skin because they don't they do so much. They still do a lot in the public, don't they? They take quite a few of their brawls outside. I've seen videos of the Harrops.
Well, this wasn't even on the show days. This was just like this random. Was not wrestling fans. We just recorded this for the shows, and like we'd just be running around Leeds doing this mad shit. Like, I arrested a lucha guy in a coffee shop.
Lauren, you're on your own. I'm done.
Because he was pretending to be a lucha.
It's one of the things I always comment on. With wrestlers, you get wrestlers in obviously the British Independents when they're in a wrestling venue. To the people in that venue, they are like John Cena. The kids will think Brady Phillips is John Cena. Like they are an absolute megastar, and then they can walk 2 minutes round the corner, go in the corner shop, and they're just Joe Blogs.
Yeah.
And I think it must be a really mad sort of thing. But when you're on the other side of it and you're actually that person, but you're playing that wrestler in a completely public random place with no wrestling fans, that's got to really mess with your head of being like, I'm doing Go
it
on.
messes with you more when they recognize you outside of the wrestling show. I haven't had that offer. I'm not going to claim I'm some sort of celebrity in Leeds. I'm not. But it's happened a couple of times. And like someone will just go, "Oh, Boris." You're like, "Oh, hello." You just switch into it instantly. Like in a supermarket or something. Yes, I'm buying some peas. And like
Well, we saw Danny Proper in Manchester, and I didn't know whether to shout him or not. So I just kind of went, "Oi, JJ Webb," because obviously he doesn't get called JJ Webb.
Yeah, the little one is was absolutely obsessed with JJ Webb and Danny Proper, to be fair. And saw the pair of them in town, and he's like, "It's JJ, it's JJ." So we had to shout him, and you could see the confusion on his face because someone was calling him his gimmick name as he was walking into the Arndale Centre in Manchester. He's like, "What?"
Honestly, you should always do that. It makes you feel like a superstar. It is amazing when it does happen. The weirdest one that happened.
Well, if me and Lauren did it though, because we see these people like
Yeah.
to get away with it.
Weirdest one I had. Matched. This was years ago. Matched on Tinder with a girl who was like, "Are you Boris Kozlov?"
Tell me you won't push into her. You had to.
Did it go anywhere though? Did the Tinder date work?
Yeah.
I don't think we are fucking topping that at all.
Are we leaving it there and doing a part 2 if we have to?
We're going to have to because I'm crying, okay? I can't do anymore. And the fact that we are ending it on him matching on Tinder and some bird asked him if it was fucking Boris. That's my life made now. Like, fuck me, that's... JC, do you want to come back on again at some point? Like at the end of the year, maybe, and we'll do a recap or something. And you've got to do it as Boris, though.
I'll do it an in character one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be take it really. I used to do every interview in character as Boris, and
incredible.
Looking back, it was silly, but like I took it very seriously.
Silly wrestling is life, though. It is brilliant. I can't, because if I start this now, we're going to end up doing like another hour or whatever, and we really can't do that because I should go to bed.
I'll see if I can. I'll find the Boris training video. I'll send it.
You are sending all of these across to us, and they are getting included in. Like Lauren, I'm sorry, you've got so much editing to do for this video.
Yeah,
we'll put links.
We'll put them in. But yeah, we really appreciate you giving us your time this evening, James. It's been wonderful talking to you. We absolutely adore coming to True Grit. Would you like, just before we wrap up, to let everybody that's watching know where they can find you, where they can find True Grit? Obviously, we've mentioned the next show at recording will be October the 11th. This will probably be going out after that, so who knows when the next show is, but check the socials, and James is going to tell you where that will be.
In Russian.
Yeah. In Russian. No, I'll do this bit in my promoter voice. So you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, now X, and Instagram, and TikTok, although I never go on TikTok, where my Piper, who does all my social media, does that at True Grit Wrestle. Our website is truegritwrestling.com. Doesn't matter when this goes out because we do shows every month. Look on our socials or our website to see when our next one is, and I can safely say that nobody is doing it like True Grit, so come along to one of our shows.
And with that line, we shall leave it there. Give us a follow, give us a like, go see True Grit, and we will see you all very, very soon. Thank you again, James. Night-night.
Thank you. Bye.